Previously, in the recap, our protagonist Noir gained power by discovering Olivia, the greatest adventurer. She taught Noir her skills because he desired to be strong. Since then, Noir has to fulfill his desire with women in order to gain LP with which he can create, bestow, or edit skill on himself or others. With these abilities, Noir was able to save the Duke's daughter and earn a large sum of money, which he intended to use to open a magical item shop. And on his way to collect items from Dungeon Noir, he made new friends along the way, including a black lion named Tiger Sun. As the story progressed, Noir's friend, Lola, a guild receptionist, became enraged at another of her colleagues, Sarah. She basically seduced her adventurer in order for them to switch to her as their receptionist. Noir was curious and piqued on her skill and discovered that she has a passive skill of seduction. And because Sarah was interested in Noir, she got ahead and challenged Lola. If she fails to reach upcoming receptionist quotas, she plans to take Noir with her. So, in order to avoid this, Luna collaborated with Noir and Emma to earn enough points for Lola to win the upcoming receptionist quotas. However, with their speed, it would still be difficult to outperform Sarah's score. So they hunted down a dragon for a higher score, but yet still it wasn't enough to put them ahead of Sarah. Because she had her adventurers wrapped around her finger and they would do anything for her to dispity the situation they were in, Noir got a heads up from Olivia and she suggested he look for some rare items on dungeon floor 7. So, as she suggested, Noir did what she told him to do, but the entire 7th floor had its own world. And in it, Noir came across a lolly dryad, who asked Noir for assistance in saving her real body from a monster that was sucking away her mana. In exchange, she would lead Noir to a location where rare treasure boxes can be found. So Noir followed her, but the level of that golden bee monster was 4 times Noir's level, so Noir couldn't defeat it. And even though her situation was worsening, Dryad was content to take him to the treasure box because Noir had agreed to assist her despite the fact that he didn't know her. But Noir was extremely frustrated that he couldn't save the Dryad, so he returned to Olivia for advice, and she had just the right plan for that. Create a skill, a spell target, and then lead a pack of some high-level wolves toward the bee. But the bee's level was still too high, and the wolf couldn't take it out. However, the bee was severely injured, and Noir took advantage of the situation to kill the thing and save the Dryad. After that, Emma wanted Noir to be her partner for a nobles gathering, but she was depressed about it for some reason. Noir noticed it but didn't tell her, so the gathering's host announced that the famous thief known as Phantom wanted to steal the mermaid's tears. However, that wasn't the only thing they were after. They took Emma with them. So there was another elite adventurers as a security guard at that party, and one of them named Lelia followed Noir to lend him a hand while her companions looked after the others. But the person everyone thought was the phantom thief was incorrect, despite the fact that she was apprehended. One of Lelia's companions, the group leader, arrived. Noir had a hunch after using his skill to determine his level and receiving nothing, that he is the true phantom thief who disguised himself as the lead and appeared there. The phantom thief I was assigned had a crush on Emma and desired to marry her, but Noir won't let that happen. Tom used his gravity magic to immobilize Noir, but despite this, Noir was tenacious. And Emma can't let Noir get hurt, so with her help, Noir was able to free her and save her. Now that everything was over, Noir had successfully opened up his item shop in the city, thanks to Olivia, who had given him the skill that had made him powerful and dependable. But Noir desired to be free of the death chains. It was the least he could do for her. So he returned to the dungeon, but this time asked his skill great sage about it. The wise man advised him to go to the 15th floor to look for his problem. However, the route there is nearly impossible for him to travel alone. So Noir tells Emma everything about how he obtained his power, Olivia, and the hidden dungeon. So she agreed to help Noir free Olivia and followed him to the 15th flood. But, surprisingly, Noir discovered Olivia there. He saw through her abilities, but something seemed off, and realized right away that it wasn't the real Olivia but the death chains that had taken her form. She was far too powerful, despite the fact that she was the imposter death chains. So, at the appropriate time, Noir opened a gate and retrieved the real Olivia and inquired about the situation. Noir wanted to know if she had any kind of weakness so that they could defeat the death chains and free her. But Olivia didn't want to put Noir in danger. Noir wanted to know why, despite the fact that he was a stranger, Olivia still gave him her skills. But she avoids the questing by focusing her attention on Emma, and in the end she told him to be in the city for some reason. The real reason Olivia didn't tell him why she was so nice to him and even gave her SS rank skill to Noir, because there was a boy who kept following her in the past 200 years who resembled Noir. He kept following her every day in order to learn how to be powerful like Olivia so that he could also become an adventurer like her. However, Olivia paid no attention to him, despite the fact that he kept following her every day. She was getting a little soft and taught him about goblins that day, but he died saving his little sister from a monster the next day. Olivia blamed herself for his death, claiming that she failed to teach him anything while she had the opportunity to make him stronger. That regret was something she didn't want to repeat, so she taught Noir her skills. Meanwhile, Noir discovered in a library that Olivia once had a difficult time fighting a cleric because she possessed a strange skill called sacrifice, with which she sacrificed her other skills in order to gain power from it for a limited time. So, on second thought, Noir burned roughly 80% of his LP to develop the ability to defeat Death Chains. And on the town's gate were Death Chains that had already followed Noir. Noir had fought her with that newly developed skill, but it was still enough power to defeat her despite his low level. However, his harem came to his aid at a critical juncture, but Death Chain cast a spell that caused Luna, Lolo, and Emma to faint, and unleashed a powerful fire spell on Noir, but Noir resisted the spell and absorbed it in his sword, which he used to defeat the Death Chains. And finally, after 200 years, Olivia was set free. That brings our anime to a close. Simply subscribe to the channel for more anime recaps.